Amber Heard virus update. How to cope. Survival kit. I would just like to put it out there. I just want to make it known that I'm not referring to the coronavirus. I'm referring to the Amber Heard virus, who is the current pandemic. People have been advised to not leave their homes, and most people can't handle that because most people are social creatures. I'm not, so I'm having a blast. But it is depressing. I live in an apartment building, and I'm having a lot of neighbors losing their shit. Last week, a neighbor broke my window because he's freaking out about shit, and then he assaulted me, and then I had to assault him back. And he started crying. But the point is that, and they did buy me a new window, and people are gathering together. People are realizing, like, we're in this together, especially neighbors in an apartment building. But people are going to lose their shit, and it's scary. And you got to wonder, what are the looters going to do when they realize that everybody's afraid of Amber Heard? They're going to just say, hey, let's just break in anywhere we want. And now the cops aren't going to do anything because the cops are terrified of Amber Heard. The corporations are all freaking out because, all of a sudden Amber Heard is a serious problem when they lose all their money, right? Walt Disney World closed because of Amber Heard. I mean, imagine how much money they're losing. I've been warning people about Amber Heard for over 20 years, and nobody ever listened. They said, give me a break. It's not true. It's bullshit. But now, all of a sudden, everybody's listening. And the best thing you can do to maintain your sanity and to fight, to flatten the Amber Heard curve, is to give me all your money. And I will explain. See, the Amber Heard virus is thriving in part to the fact that people paid money for the movie that promoted the Amber Heard virus, Aquaman 2. The movie itself was a virus, not just because of, because of Amber Heard. But it's also, it emulated Amber Heard by being empty, pretty, stupid, and predictable, cheesy, annoying, boring as hell, and left you feeling nothing. Had no meaning whatsoever. Furthermore, the money that you give to the movies that the Amber Heard virus infests also goes to movie companies and rich people who emulate. They've contracted the Amber Heard virus. They're greedy. They don't give a shit about quality. They just want to make trash, and they just want to make money. They want your money. These companies like Disney or L'Oreal or whatever, they don't love you. I know they tell you that they love you, but they don't. See, only individuals are capable of love. And if you have been infected by the Amber Heard virus, you're not an individual anymore. Now, a little bit about the coronavirus. The coronavirus, as far as I know, what created it was the fact that Chinese people, the culture, not the race, the Chinese culture, they love exotic animals because it gives them prestige. So they'll put salamanders in a cage beside a cage with chickens, and then a cage with ferrets, and that's like breeding ground for potential viruses. They don't even separate them for prestige, right? And that's hence how the Amber Heard virus caused the coronavirus, because the Amber Heard virus is all about prestige and outward appearances and money and looking like pretty and pretending to be nice. But in fact, there's nothing good or even tasty about eating a salamander with ferret ears on top. Now, the Chinese culture, not the people, not the race, it's not racist, it's culturist. The Chinese culture, I believe that they value money over anything. They would rather feed their children plastic than spend an extra nickel for the food to be a little healthier. They care about prestige so much they would rather force their kid to play piano for 12 hours a day than let them run outside and have fun. Now, I haven't been to China. We have Chinatown here in Toronto. I could be wrong. Oh, and I wanted to note that Trump saying that the coronavirus, calling it the Chinese virus, is not racist, nor is calling it the Kung Fu virus. Because if you want to say that that's racist, they're not commenting on the people. You can say Chinese cars, American cars, German cars. That's not racist, is it? So saying this is the Chinese virus is not racist because we're not talking about the people. We're talking about the virus and where it comes from. And if you're going to say that's racist, then you might as well say that, Kung Flu. Well, then you might as well say spaghetti western is a racist term, right? And or the idea of Chinese food, that's racist too, because it's not made out of Chinese people. So people are going overboard with that crap. Anyway, so I was depressed earlier today and thinking about how people just suck and everybody's just in it for themselves, and they're going to end up eating each other alive during this Amber Heard virus. And I was like, yeah, that's a bummer. Like, I don't even look forward to talking to most people anymore. They just cause problems. But then, you know what I reminded myself of was that 1% of people are amazing, beautiful souls. And they are individuals, and it is the individual that does all the great things. And they lead the trends, and they give of themselves. They're giving and have all the good qualities. They're thoughtful. And they actually more than make up for the other 99% who are scum. Because the fortunate thing about the 99% that are scum, and that would be like everybody that has the Amber Heard virus, where they're obsessed with looks and money and what can I get, is that they tend to be, well, they don't tend to be, they are extremely weak, stupid people. So they don't have any power, really. And all you do, one person with integrity can knock all 99 of them down. So that's and it's true. So the way that you solve the Amber Heard virus is firstly by not paying for the Amber Heard virus. Secondly, by giving your money towards things that are going to fight the Amber Heard virus, such as artists with integrity, who are trying to create art that has meaning and integrity, for lack of a better word, and that tries to create real beauty. And so I am trying to do that, so that's why you should give me your money. It's the smartest thing you could do. Not all your money, but just enough. And because, look, I'm not... That money, I guess Patreon gets a little percentage, but it doesn't go towards big corporations. The artist gets most of that money, and I would be using that money to print the books, to then give out for free to people, including the Patreon supporters. So there would be no greed involved. And hopefully, even if the book ends up terrible, it would still be a noble effort. And it won't be terrible either. But that's what art is, and art is the most important thing in the world. And that's what's going to defeat the Amber Heard virus. My book will have everything that Aquaman lacked, in particular, integrity and meaning. Meaning in stories is the most important thing. And, what was the meaning of Aquaman, right? Have courage. Okay, well, we know that story, and that story is not... It's not unique. It's every superhero story. Team up, take care of each other. Because after all, what caused the Amber Heard virus? It was people who were money hungry, who didn't give a shit about what's on the inside. And that includes Johnny Depp. He should have got to know her before he married her just because she's hot and she must look like an angel. So how do you beat the Amber Heard virus? You do that by giving power and money. Power is money. Money is power. To people who do have integrity. And then they can fight the Amber Heards of the world. And look, I don't expect or deserve anybody's money. But I'm just saying, I'll take it, because I'll just make good books out of it. And I'd like to, get a little more into what I mean by meaning in a movie or a book. Integrity. I don't want to use the word depth, because that neither here nor there, and it is pretentious. Okay, so I wrote a book 10 years ago called Why Can't I Be Normal? And the idea was, it's a story about a guy who wants to be normal so badly that he becomes increasingly weird. So, you see, there's meaning, there's a thought, there's an idea in that concept. an idea that's good for especially like teenagers to read, because who hasn't thought they were weird at some point, and then got a earring, a nose piercing because they thought it would make them get accepted. So they become weirder by trying to be normal, to try to be accepted. So it's a good idea. And that's what I mean by meaning or integrity. I believe that morals and morality are the essence of what a story is. They're the fabric of a story. You know, in music, I think tonality is. In art, it's probably some sort of color theory. But in stories, it's a moral. All the best stories have interesting, new, and good morals. Come to think of it, it doesn't even have to be a very good moral. The moral could be, don't, sleep in the house with the three bad wolves. But there does have to be a moral, and it should be interesting or, clever. Yeah, so the number one thing you can do to fight the Amber Heard virus is to give me money, because it'll encourage me. It'll give me a lot of encouragement. It'll also give me power. And it'll encourage me to make funny Amber Heard videos, which I think are helping the Amber Heard fight the Amber Heard virus in a small way. What else can you do? I think you can just be nice to people, because that's just what's going to help. Like, people just need to, try to... I think people are getting very annoyed at each other. I think they're getting very annoyed at each other. My friend, he's got his wife and 2 kids at home, and they can't leave the house, and I think they're getting very annoyed at each other. And look, I'm pretty much a hermit. I lived like this anyways. I don't like leaving the house. I think it's dangerous. Could be a drunk guy hitting you with a car. I'm paranoid. I've got anxiety. I don't like the outdoors. I've never been a fan of the sun. So my life hasn't changed at all. I'm kind of enjoying seeing everybody else have to live like me. But I would advise, there's a lot of things you can take up. Pretend you're in jail. You can start reading books. You can start meditating, which is incredibly beneficial. You can renovate your house. You can, start cleaning things that you forgot to clean, like that little nook or cranny, wherever. You can do things on the computer. You can do almost anything on the computer. And do a lot of things on the computer that you've been meaning to do. And, you know what? When you're in jail, time goes by fast, because you kind of go into almost a hibernation kind of mode. You sleep more. And hours go by very fast. Oh, and art is the most important thing in the world. So you should take up an art. Something. It doesn't matter what it is. Paper mache. Take up an art, because you can do that at home, and it provides incredible fulfillment, because you can see progress every day. But if you see Amber Heard lurking around in your bushes, you should probably notify the authorities. And if you know somebody who likes Amber Heard, or who said that they're going to go see Aquaman 2, yeah, you might want to lock your door. Swim away from me, Mira. Swim far, far away. As fast as that little mermaid butt can speed you away. Okay? I'm sorry. We don't want you around here. I'm sure you have a good quality somewhere, but we don't know what it is. We can't find it, and you're killing a lot of people. I got grandparents in their 90s, and they've never even heard of the Amber Heard virus. They have no idea what it is. But we need to, help insulate them from her. The real dangerous thing is the retards who think that, retards who don't believe in the Amber Heard virus, or they actually like it. So they're these people that will just go around and spread her around and make it harder for everybody. Also, I think, talk to the same people that you have, a group, pretend it's a small town that you live in, where you talk to your landlord, or maybe you talk to your neighbor, but at least you're localizing it, you're keeping it, because you are going to have to interact with certain people, that's fine. But, if you can't stay in your house, at least don't be traveling to the other end of the city. That's all for now. Stay tuned for any more Amber Heard virus updates, any late breaking news. It is a pandemic, but as long as we stay away from Amber Heard, we're all going to be okay. If you like gays, click like. If you like blacks, comment. If you like women, click notification bell. If you like gay women, subscribe. And if you like gay black women, Patreon, Human Warnings, give me money.